I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
You better not have no plans tonight.
Movie time and it's feeling right.
You're looking for a love that lasts. You'll find it at Romance in the Podcast. Ooh, ooh, baby, you had me at hello. Ooh, I love you.
I know.
Ooh, ooh, baby, you're the wind beneath my wings. Ooh, ah, I'll have what she's having.
Tale as old as time, true as it can be. Barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. Just a little change.
Welcome back to Paige's sing-along for Beauty and the Beast.
There's going to be a lot of singing in this one, guys. I'm sorry in advance. Thank you for tuning into Romancing the Pod. You had us at worship. I'm Paige Wesley.
And I'm Todd Schlosser. And this week, Paige made us watch Beauty and the Beast. So, Paige.
Yes.
Was this the first time you saw Beauty and the Beast? I know it wasn't. I've seen this a million times, too.
This was not. I saw this in theaters.
Oh, wow, really? I don't even think I saw it in theaters.
I saw this in theaters. This is the second movie I ever saw in theaters. The first movie, Little Mermaid.
Wow.
I don't remember seeing Little Mermaid as much. I know I did, but this I actually do remember seeing in the theaters.
I see. So you weren't like a redhead, so you were like, I don't care about this bitch. But you find a bookie brunette and you're like super into her story. Okay, I get it. That's fine.
A bookie brunette who likes big shoulders. Where have I heard this before?
Exactly.
I remember seeing this in the theaters with my grandmother, and one of my friends from preschool was also there. And I remember like turning around in my seat to like wave to my friend.
And being like, yo, dog, this whole thing's wild, right? Movies are crazy cool, right?
This fucking slaps, right?
No, I mean like movies in general. If that was your first movie experience, come on.
This is my second. I was like 4 when this came out. And Little Mermaid was literally like a year or two before. So like I was barely young enough to remember that one. I remember this one.
God, I don't remember anything from when I was 4. Like that's too young. I don't remember anything. Like I have no memories before like 48. Like I have no memories.
Before 48.
Well, 1948. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, right. Because you're a traveler.
I think that's the year my dad was born.
I feel like we started this a couple episodes with you being secretly ageless.
Yeah.
But let's keep it going.
Yeah. I made a joke and I had to over-explain it, and then it just became a bit. That's what it was. Yeah, I do remember that now. Commit to the bit, Paige. Let's go.
Commit. So I was very young. One of my first memories is the earthquake. So maybe that's why I have young memories. The first one's pretty scary.
Are you sure it was an earthquake and it wasn't just you had a British nanny? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She had so many bags and umbrellas.
That's honestly a terrible joke because I think that child died in that. Sorry.
Yeah. I remember my mom running down the hallway to grab me and go outside and seeing the street and everything. But like this, I vividly remember seeing in theaters. And it is my favorite Disney movie. This is my favorite. But that said, get that out of the way so you know I'm biased.
Well, Paige, I already knew this was your favorite because when I came back from my Disney cruise about a month ago, I was like, why don't we just do like Disney movies for a month? That'd be a fun theme. And you were like, no. And then 2 weeks later, you were like, what if we did all Beauty and the Beasts? Which I will admit is a fire theme. Like, I'm here for it.
It's a fire theme.
Yeah.
Here's why I didn't want to do a whole month of animated. And you and I talked about this literally right before we started recording.
I know. And I made you stop so we could do it live.
Because Here's the thing. It's not that I dislike animated movies in general.
It's that they suck.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Not even that.
Not that? Okay, my bad. Okay.
It's that for the format of how we do the show, they're relatively incompatible and for a few reasons. Number one, runtime is huge.
I mean, they're shorter typically.
They're shorter, which means that like we have less to talk about. And like sometimes we can riff our way through something, but
I think we'll do fine here.
I think we'll do fine here. Yeah, I have no problems.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But at a certain length, all the riffing in the world wouldn't get us to what we would consider a full-length episode. So like there are people who have recommended animated stuff in the group where it's like 47 minutes long. And I'm like, that's not a full episode. We'd have to do 2 or whatever.
Yeah, maybe a bonus episode, but we don't have that for Romance of the Pod.
And so, but most animated movies also have songs. Great, love songs.
I know. I love that about this. I love that about all Disney princess or prince movies.
Love songs.
Yeah.
That's also why we sometimes do musicals, but live action musicals, part of the difference is they are often longer to accommodate for the songs.
Yeah, this is not.
This is not.
Yeah.
A live action musical is usually like 2+ hours and 30 to 40 minutes of that is songs, but that still leaves us with 90 minutes of story to talk about because there's not much you can talk about while the songs are going other than like, it's cool that the plates did that. And like that there's not much else. And so like, this movie is 84 minutes with songs.
Yeah.
And if you took the songs out of this movie, it'd be 45 minutes long.
It's 2.5 minutes long.
It's 2.5 minutes long. The notes I have for this episode, and again, on a movie I love are half the length of a normal episode. So like, now granted, because this is Beauty and the Beast, and if there was a type of animated movie that fits this show that we can still probably do an episode on, it's this. Because it's Beauty and the Beast, there's a lot of fun facts around it. There's a lot of really interesting information about how it was made. The same goes for a lot of Disney movies of this era. And they're also love stories as told about adults. A lot of animated movies, because they're for children, don't actually have love stories in them. They have people who are princesses who stand next to boys. And so like all of these are the reasons why we have not really done animated movies. We will start to sprinkle them in, but they're going to be mostly like this, I would say, for a lot of it, as far as like what can work for the show.
We will see. I pitched doing an entire month of just straight up Disney like prince and princess movies because I came back from that Disney cruise, sort of like Disneytized, if you will.
It's a lot of Disney at once.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Sure. Yeah, I was fine to not do it. And then very happy when you suggested this.
Yes.
So, yeah.
A halfway point.
Paige, I will admit I have not seen this movie in 10 to 15 years.
Same. And I did not realize some things about it as I watched it today.
So same. So I wrote a bunch of, like, I'll just start off with, like, I have a lot of problems with Chip just as a character.
Oh, yeah, let's get into it.
So, like, why did they name the child with the head injury Chip? Like, his name is literally damaged, like the damage his brain has.
I think it's his gap tooth.
No.
He has a gap tooth.
I know he has a gap tooth, but he also talks the way, like, he definitely has a head injury.
That's true. He has a lisp, and the cup has a gap tooth too. So no, that kid is, Yeah. Oh no.
I'm not saying he didn't get the gap tooth in the injury that caused the impediment or whatever.
Of course.
But that's like, you're just like naming somebody what they, like their worst trait, quote unquote, or whatever you want to call that. Like, that would be like somebody naming me Dusty Lack of Self-Worthington. Like, you can't just call someone that to their face.
I mean, people have called me Ham Beast, but I wouldn't make a habit of it. But here's the thing I noticed about the names. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
Because when people turn back into human, they keep their names.
Yes.
So, like, are they just changing people based on their names? Does this man have an entire castle of people named after household appliances? Like, because it's Mrs. Potts, it's Cogsworth, it's Lumiere, like, they're all like named after their item. And when they're like in the item form, that makes sense. But how confusing would it be for them to turn back into people and then be like, thank God, John. So glad you could be back with us.
Oh, wouldn't it be a wild take if like they were never people? They were like actual candlesticks that like came to life or clock that came to life or whatever.
And then they just die and go back to be inanimate objects?
Oh, no. I just mean like, and now they are people and have no idea how to be a person. Like, Like they don't know how to walk as a person and they're like trying to like figure everything out, you know? Like that would be such like a wildly problematic and strange take, but I kind of love it.
Okay, but I'm picturing it all like Stardust with the goat.
Yes,
when
I didn't think of that, but yes, 100% that. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
Because the goat doesn't know how to be a human, Paige. It knows how to be a goat.
It knows how to be a goat. 100%. I want that version. Now, here's another. I have seen this on Broadway twice.
Oh, yeah?
And then my dad and my sister were in a local production of it.
Of course. Natalie was in a local production of it years ago. Yeah. We weren't together then, but like she tells me about it. I've seen so many photos from it. It's awesome. Yeah.
The songs, there are leftover songs from the movie. So let's get into it because this is something that like we'll come across. So this movie is part of a small series of movies that were scored by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman. Those movies all have phenomenal scores, and they are the ones that like endure in like Disney songdom, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's Little Mermaid, this, and Aladdin.
Oof, those are like the best, in my opinion, of
heavy
like,
hitters
for like the music of it. Like I really love a lot of the music from those movies, but I also think that might just be because like they were my childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Well, and Alan Menken does continue to work in Disney, and I also think some later Disney ones like Mulan has beautiful music.
I do love Mulan too. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, I think, has phenomenal music that does not get the credit it is due.
I liked Hunchback too. I like all of them. Like, but Let's Get Down to Business is a bop. I love that
banger.
song. Yeah.
But part of the reason I mentioned this short series is because Howard Ashman, who did the lyrics for this Little Mermaid and part of Aladdin, passed away while working on Aladdin the year this movie came out of AIDS. And it's devastating. He was such a talent.
Yeah.
And as they were working on this movie, they had leftover songs that they did not use in this movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And to kind of honor them, they make it into the stage play. And to be honest, if they had been in this movie would be 2 hours long and it would be an hour and a half of songs.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that. I love those songs.
I get why you're trimming it.
Yeah.
The stage play is much longer, but it includes a song called Human Again, where all of the like pieces of stuff in the house get to sing about like what they used to do as humans and what they can't wait to get back to doing.
Yeah.
And it's a great song. The Beast has a beautiful soul, like a heart-wrenching solo that gets cut from the movie and all kinds of stuff. But like when we're thinking about them maybe not knowing how to be people, that song would get even weirder because then it would be them just singing about things that they think people do, which is equally as funny to me. I would love that. Just thinking about what people think people do. It's like Under the Sea or whatever the people on land.
Yeah, well, they're always talking about like what they're actually not doing, but what they assume we're doing up there. Yeah, in Little Mermaid. Yeah,
right.
I love one of my favorite kind of like quips to throw at people, especially when I'm talking politics. And people are like, well, how did you, a white guy from the South, become like a liberal, like progressive kind of person? And I was like, oh, I was radicalized by the works of Alan Menken.
100%.
Because that's the guy that wrote Newsies, which is 1,000% about just how good and powerful unions can be. And so that's one of my favorite like jokes. It's not even really a joke, but I like love saying that when someone asks me it because it just makes me laugh.
I mean, here's the thing though, and this is, it always blows my mind when A, people our age don't have empathy for the other people around them, or B, when people who are from other generations are like, why'd y'all end up so liberal? And I'm like, we were raised on these movies. This movie is literally about a girl who likes to read and feels like there's more for her in life. Like this.
Yeah.
Like, and the movie's like, you're right, but fuck all that. There's a prince. But like at the same time,
I mean, he still is rich, Paige. Like, I don't know what you're.
He's still rich, and he keeps the shoulders after he changes into Michael Bolton.
I mean, at the end of the movie, when he is rather Michael Bolton-esque, as you just said, I agree, 100%. I have met Michael Bolton in real life, and he do be looking like that. he's also way funnier than people give him credit for.
Yes, 100%. And like, I would kill to just like him at the end of the movie, be like, keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I would love that.
I was at a this is going to sound like such a brag, but the only reason I was there was because a guy I knew from college worked at the studio. But I got a text from my friend and he was like, hey, Michael Bolton is coming in today to record a song that they're going to use as the FIFA World Cup. I think it was like 2012 or something.
Right.
I don't remember. And it never became the song. Like the FIFA passed on this Michael Bolton song. But I was in the main control room and he was in the vocal booth, obviously. So I didn't really get to talk to him that much. But he was so funny when he was like singing. He was hilarious. Like if he would mess up, he would like continue the song, like sing-songy nature of the song, but like talk about how much this sucks and how he can't get it right. And it was just like so self-deprecating and funny. Like there was one take where he was just like singing and messed it up slightly and then it was like, fuck, god damn it, fuck. Like it was so funny.
Well, I always, whenever I think about Michael Bolton having a sense of humor, it's, this is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh shit, I forgot about the Lonely Islands. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his like Valentine's Day special.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
but maybe it's
God.
just for the ladies. I don't know. Anyway, I did get to talk to him for a second after he was done, and he was so nice and very, very funny. But anyway, I don't really have anything bad to say about Michael Bolton, but man, does the beast look like him.
Right?
Yeah. So like, okay, my second problem with Chip, now that we're getting back from that tangent, is that Mrs. Potts looks 60 and Chip is legit 5 years old.
Right.
And
right.
I'm not saying Mrs. Potts ain't a gilf. Like I'm sure Cogsworth gives her some time nightly, but like that tea kettle can't steep a baby anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how else to say it. And listen, Paige, that's not me being mean. That is just ceramics. Like that is basic ceramics, and like you can't fight the nature of ceramics. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I wonder if they're grandchildren. No, but she says son, right?
Yeah,
this is my son, Chip.
Paige, I made this observation to Natalie as we were watching this movie together because, yeah, most of the time she doesn't watch the movies with me. But when I was like, we're watching Beauty and the Beast, she was like, damn right we are. But like when I told her that, Natalie said, I wonder if Mrs. Potts had a daughter
who married a coffee cup and now they don't talk. This is also like us thinking about Chip as her son is one of those things that like as a kid it doesn't make sense to you. But I also realized this time that like my whole thing about the beast not being able to read, I think either might only be in the Broadway show or I just made that up out of my brain.
Paige, the beast doesn't know how to eat.
Right.
I fully believe he does not know how to read. Like, okay, and here's another problem I had with the movie. In the song Be Our Guest, Lumiere says that they have been this way for 10 years. And we know from the opening monologue that the Rose
Beast is only 20.
Yeah, like when he turns 21, it's over. So the witch changed him into a like beast because he like turned her away when he was 10 years old.
Right.
I'm not saying it wasn't a dick move. Like I'll admit, like he's a little shit, but Paige, he's a literal little shit.
He's
a child, ma'am. You're an adult with magical capabilities. Maybe show a little empathy to this literal child. Like, damn, lady, he didn't offer you tea, and you're like, I don't know, man. Like, she's mad about it. Like, I've seen 10-year-olds cry because their applesauce got in their chicken nuggies, and she's mad this guy didn't like offer her hospitality. He's 10.
He's 10. This is one of the first things I have in my notes in just all caps of like, he's only 20? How long did this go on? But then throughout the movie, I had a crazier realization because we're right up against his 21st birthday because the rose is losing all the petals.
Oh, metaphor for aging, right? Gross.
I think this movie takes place over less than a week. And like growing up, I thought she was with him for months. And like, it was like, not to call it Stockholm Syndrome, but basically like falling in love with your captor, like over time. No, we only see maybe 3.5 days in this movie. And that's so nuts. And I'll point it out as we go because I was like, wait a second. So this is the same day.
Yo, Be Our Guest happens the night she gets there, but it's like after dinner because she skips dinner to protest or whatever. Like she's mad.
Right.
And then she Be Our Guests a midnight snack.
Here's what's crazy. her dad, while Be Our Guest is happening, her dad gets back to the village. Gaston happens that same night.
Yeah.
And then he gives her the library the next morning.
I know.
Because like as Gaston is happening, she runs out to like escape.
Yes.
And he brings her back. And that's like,
It literally is like the second night. She's been gone 2 days, more or less. But Paige, I think that their young age makes this make sense.
Sure.
Because like, yeah, like they're young. They're inexperienced with love. One guy doesn't know anything other than doggy style. Like there's no way he is going to be able to perform. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be a new experience. That's all I'm saying.
look, I mean, hey, doggy style could be very versatile.
He has completely different hips, knees, and ankles. Like
That's true.
There's no way he's going to like nail it the first time.
Well, I think they were like, once you guys start making out, it's all good. But he don't have a mouth like her. He got fangs.
Paige, what if... I hate me right now. What if at the very end, when they were about to have their first kiss, he just licked her face?
I would have fucking died. And at that point in the movie, it doesn't matter how many times I've seen it because I was watching it today, sobbing, absolutely sobbing. It's so great that I finished early and had a break because I had to like take a minute and like, whoo, around the room, even knowing everything that we're talking about now. But just the like, I'm so happy I got to see you one last time. Just buckets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he performed that so well. The Beast, the character who knows how he is manipulating Belle perfectly to make her fall in love with him. Like, the fact that he hired Gaston to do all of this, perfect. Anyway, I sort of in my mind made it like
that it's like a whole like Gaston he paid. I mean, that's complicated and dogs' brains aren't that big.
Paige, I am just saying that at the end of this movie, it should not turn into Michael Bolton. It should turn into Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because he does follow the quote Beast system.
Sure.
Yeah.
Be our guest.
Paige, I got him. I wrote it all out already. I already finished the joke. You don't have to make it up on the spot. B is bombard with hospitality, Paige.
That's true. Many plates.
It's kind of like love bombing, but with Snickers or whatever. It's like gourmet meals and shit.
Or the gray stuff. It's delicious.
Oh, you got to watch out for that gray stuff. People be sleeping on it. By the way, gray stuff is called gravy. Anyway, E is establish emotional dependency. This is when he lets her leave, quote, leave. But, you know, his buddies, who are also dogs, like they're wolves, like they're in the family, right? There's no way they're not in cahoots with the owls and the wolves.
I think it's really funny that I really like the idea that he has like gotten the wolves to like hurt him that night to like bring her back so that she feels like tied to him.
Yeah.
They're all in cahoots.
Exactly. And then the next morning, he adjusts behavior to create hope by giving her, that's the A in Beast, right?
Yeah. Adjust. Yeah.
That's the library. That's him learning how to eat with a spoon like like crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. I'm just saying the standards that women set for men are too low.
S is spin around dance floor.
Well, I had it as shift the narrative, but I kind of do like spin around the dance floor.
Shift the narrative makes sense.
Yeah.
And then T, toss X suitors off of roof.
No, but I like where your head's at. Although I actually prefer, I think Gaston's death is my favorite villain death in any movie ever, but we'll talk about that later.
Same. I agree. I really liked it.
Yeah, but the T is take it with you. And this is kind of an homage to Ghost because I love it. But it also is the mirror, right?
Yes.
Because he uses the mirror as he lets her go. He's like, I'm going to let you go. I release you from your obligation to me. Go be with your dad, which seems nice. But then he adds on, oh, by the way, here's this mirror that when you look at it, you'll just see how sad I am that you're not with me, right? It is not like, you're not able to leave. Like, it's romantic spyware at best. Like, stop it, Beast.
Well, here's what I think was really funny is that, like, I want to know if it alerts him whenever the mirror is looking at him. So, oh no. Like,
it's like he's got a PA in his ear. He's like, hey, Beast, the mirror's coming to you in 5, 4, 3.
And go.
He's just running over to a window crying.
Here's something I remembered, and this may have been part of my journey with this franchise.
Right.
Perhaps not yours. There are additional straight-to-video sequels to this movie, including a Christmas special. But clearly, they did not think that Michael Bolton appealed to the children, because even though all of the like sequels and everything are set after the events of this movie, he's still the Beast in all of them. He's never the prince again. They're just like, Christmas at Beast's house.
It's called a castle, Paige.
Sure.
Although this is French, so they might have been trying to downplay the castle thing because things got a little revolutionary at some points.
Yeah, not long after the events of this film.
Right, yeah.
But also, the castle in this is modeled after Castle Neuschwanstein, like an actual castle, which is kind of cool.
I'm sorry, did you say Castle Neuschwanstein?
Gazoot tight. But yeah, Castle Neuschwanstein, which is often referred to as Sleeping Beauty's castle, but it is a castle in, I believe it's Austria, that looks like every castle you see in a Disney movie in some way. Let me pull up a picture really fast.
Oh, that does look exactly like this castle. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it is beautiful. Guys, if you're out there, Google it. It looks just like the castle in this.
Yeah, it is literally this castle. It's nuts. And technically, almost every Disney movie that has a castle, including the ones in the parks, are at least partially, if not entirely, based on Castle Neuschwanstein.
Yeah, I mean, it's a building so beautiful, you just want to, run inside, kill everyone there, take all the money that you could find and like valuable artifacts, sell them off and just redistribute that wealth to the working classes. You know what I'm saying? It's like that beautiful.
But I mean, what's the pawn price of a footstool that's also a dog?
Paige, if you tell me that footstool is immortal, I am never not looking for it. Like that, because I do think, I kind of wondered if like maybe they didn't age while they were in this because then it made it okay that like.
Has Chip been a child for 10 years or was Chip born as a cup?
I was kind of hoping that the Beast had been 20 for like 10 years, more or less. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because then I felt better about the witch turning a 10-year-old into a fucking beast.
But then it's like your 21st year. So
I know. It's clearly not that. I will openly admit it's clearly not that.
Here's my question, though. Another way to interpret this based on the language used in the film, which could solve a lot of these problems, but create problems with Belle. Let's say he was 20 and it's the 21st year of him being a beast.
Right.
As opposed to him turning 21.
We're going to have a very nuanced conversation here because, and I understand what you're saying, but if they don't age, when he turns human, when he becomes Michael Bolton,
right,
he's 21.
Right.
His mind is 45 or whatever.
It's like Edward Cullen.
It's not just like Edward Cullen. It's like that and many other like IPs that involve romances between immortal or,
all vampires.
Yeah, like immortal beings and people.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have more first thoughts or are we still going to debate whether or not Chip was birthed as a cup?
Paige, when you said that, I was like, of course he wasn't birthed as a cup. He turns human again at the end. But then he's like 5 years old. So like, yeah, maybe he was a cup the whole time.
Right. Did it come out of her spout or out of the top?
Does she have a cloaca under there? Like, how do you clean it? I don't know.
I don't know how teapots reproduce. Actually, I do. I have too many, but like...
Paige, it's basic ceramics. Anyway, we should just go through the movie scene by scene, though. We got to.
We open on beautiful music and beautiful traditional animation for the time.
Yeah.
It holds up. Like, the fact that it holds up...
I love it.
Tells you everything.
I love the voiceover narration, too. It really feels like you're, like, getting into a fairy tale book.
Yes.
Like, I love it. I love the vibe.
It's one of those things where I was older when I found out that this was nominated for an Oscar because, like, 4-year-old Paige didn't give a fuck.
You're like, who's Oscar? Is he here with us?
The Grouch, he gives awards out.
How do I win one of those?
Film school Paige, who was like, oh, my favorite Disney movie got animated for an Oscar, and it's one of the only times an animated movie has been animated has been nominated as Best Picture. And I like watched it that day to be like, really? And it was these few opening scenes that I was like, of course, man. No, nothing's this beautiful. Like, it's hard to even find really good animation that's this pretty even 20 years later.
Yeah, they did a good job with this.
Or more than 20. This movie is almost 35 years old.
Yeah, it's
Christ.
It is.
So old. Anyway, but beautiful. We open on the prince turning away the old woman at the door, who then turns into an enchantress and curses him for all eternity. Do I want stained glass versions of these in my home? Yes, but I'm not that rich yet.
I will only allow that
if I make Andrea make them.
I was going to say that, yeah, because Andrea Gazzetta does make some awesome stained glass stuff.
She absolutely could. And like, I would also, instead of having the exact ones from the movie, I'd want Andrea's interpretation of them.
Yes.
And I'd be all for that.
But the one thing I ask is that you make the beast in these the height he would actually be if he was 10 years old talking to a full-ass grown lady who's like, are you going to let me in? No, you're a stranger and I'm a child. And she's like, well, beast up then, bitch. Like, that's an insane reaction to a child not letting you in home. A child whose parents we never see or hear about.
Stranger danger. And then suddenly that child is some sort of buffalo dog. What are you going to do about it?
He was clearly in the right to refuse her entry to the home.
Sure. But that basically lays the groundwork for how the beasts become the beast. And we immediately open on Belle, one of the most famous songs from the movie. It's the like, little town, it's a quiet village, which, if you're a nerd like me, go your ass to YouTube. And you can see the voice actors and live action of them recording it.
Really? Oh,
side by
damn,
side.
I'd watch that. Yeah, hell yeah.
And it includes with pieces with Howard Ashman, who wrote the lyrics, where he's like working with Paige O'Hara to be like, it's a quiet village. And you hear them like run through it. And you're like, this sound, like the way they get it on the recording is so much burned into my memory. And to watch someone like trying to nail that is crazy.
Well, and having heard them nail it every time you've watched this, right? Because that's the
Right.
take they used, obviously. Yeah.
Well, and there is a longer conversation to be had about the evolution of regular live action actors getting jobs as voice actors just so that famous people can be in animated movies, as opposed to people who just have the vocal abilities to do those roles.
Yeah, and it's more than just being able to sing really well, because you got to be able to act and emote with your voice.
Yes.
You have to be able to act on some level, right?
Yes.
I realize that it may not be the same as like acting on film, but
Right.
it's still very much acting. And some say it might be harder because you don't have any body language. It's all vocal.
It's all vocal.
That seems like a harder ask, for me at least.
I do think it's harder. I've done some voiceover work. It's not my favorite. It's fun to do sometimes, but like
I like it. Yeah, it's fun.
it's fun. It's not what I want to do all the time. My sister did a ton of voiceover work. If you ever watched Phineas and Ferb, you have heard my sister. But like,
Really?
yes, yeah. They would call her anytime they needed like old men. She does a really funny old man.
I've heard that. I didn't oh my God, that's amazing.
But yeah, she was Phineas and Ferb, and then a bunch of like mattress commercials and stuff. She was almost the voice of Tinkerbell at Disneyland, like for the fireworks. She like
Really?
she got to like top 2, and then this other girl won. But like whatever.
They were like pinning her, so she's like on the bubble, you know, she's like right there, but they like didn't. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh.
that happens to Natalie all the time. She'll get like a check
Yeah.
avail.
Yep.
Be like, are you available these dates to film? But
Yep.
even that doesn't mean you got the part. Like she's gotten check avails, and of course she's gotten some of those, but some of those you still
Right.
don't get.
You don't
so you're
know.
like, yay, I got a check avail, and I was like, did you get it? And she's like, no, that's not what
No.
that means. It sucks. Yeah.
That's not what that means at all. Yeah.
The industry sucks. It's so hard for people who are trying to get into it. It like beats you down, man.
All that to say,
Yeah.
one of the different things about this movie, which actually makes it really interesting when you look at archival footage around when this movie came out, a lot of the people that are doing the voices in this movie were Broadway actors.
Of course.
And so
Yeah.
there is so much footage of them after the fact performing these songs live.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And nailing it.
Of course.
Like if you want to see Jerry Orbach perform live as Lumiere, which will make you cry, there's footage. There's so much footage.
I love that OG Law and Order is Lumiere.
Lumiere.
And they casually say
Yeah,
in the movie that he gave that French duster chlamydia.
absolutely.
I mean, it's got to be chlamydia because that's the only waxed-based transmitted STD that I'm aware of.
Same. I mean, and also, so Cogsworth was David Ogden Stiers, who has been in a movie on this podcast before because he's the dad in Better Off Dead. But he was very famous on the stage.
Yeah.
And then Paige O'Hara was Broadway forever. And there are archival footage of her performing live as Belle, like in an original performance of this that is not the Broadway play. That's like another thing, with the guy who did Gaston's voice,
That's awesome.
who, by the way, looks like Gaston.
Of course he does.
Wild.
Yeah, of course he does.
Like they nailed it. But he's singing live too. And it's like incredible. One of the only people you can't find a ton of footage performing live is Robbie Benson, who does the voice of the Beast. But it's wild because you can find footage of him doing the dialogue, And he's kind of like a small guy. Like he's in the movie that I thought we were doing when we did Toe Pick, and it's the one where the girl goes blind and becomes an ice skater. He's the like main guy in that one, and then does this and then doesn't do a ton after. But he's not at all what you would expect for the Beast, and it's really weird to watch it come out of his mouth.
Interesting. I do love this opening song. The Bonjour song is awesome.
Bonjour.
Yeah. And I do think that this is the moment where I was like, is the person, and I know the actress is too young to be Judy Garland, but I think her name was Paige O'Hara, I think? Yeah.
Yeah, Paige O'Hara.
I was like, is Paige O'Hara just doing her best Judy Garland impression this whole time? Because there are like little inflections that are very Garland, and I love it. I'm not saying it sucks. Like, I love it.
I think you're just hearing the Broadway of it, because she was
Probably.
like her own thing.
Of course. Yeah, but Judy Garland was also very into that.
Yes.
So yeah, okay.
Very showbiz.
Yeah.
But Paige O'Hara was like famous on Broadway.
That doesn't surprise me.
It was almost like when she got this role, like she was known. It's oddly enough the same with Little Mermaid, which is Jodie Benson.
Yeah.
But Jodie Benson was a famous recording artist in the Christian like music world.
Uh-huh.
So like growing up, she did a ton of voiceover stuff for like Vacation Bible School. So like my sister and I had like the cassettes for like Little Mermaid, but then we also had like Critter County with Jodie Benson or whatever, which is wild. Anyway, all this to say, if you are curious about the people who sang this, and most of them sang all their own stuff, go watch on YouTube. Almost all of the archival footage is there and easy to find.
Yeah.
And also stay tuned for the credits of this movie, because the credits of this movie credit animation and characters different than almost any other animated movie does.
Really?
And I honestly wish they'd go back to this.
Interesting.
Because old Disney movies kind of did it this way, but it basically goes through and lists the character, and then it's like who did the voice, who did the animation, who were the animators specifically that worked on that character.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like the people who almost never get credit for bringing this together.
Or they're just one of the many animators, right?
Yes. And in this case, you're really seeing like these are the people who created Belle.
Yeah.
These are the people whose all of their work went into creating Belle.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, we get a whole scene of her singing, walking through town while the townspeople talk behind her back because they rude, because they French. And then she runs into the rudest, Gaston.
And LeFou, but like
LeFou.
Gaston mainly, yeah.
Gaston, how can you read this? There's no pictures. Gaston, you are positively primeval. It's great. He's dumb. He's hot, but he's dumb.
Yeah. And Paige, I want to be honest with you. When the three like thirsty townies that are like just
all
swoon
one
over
lady.
Gaston the whole time, of course, because they're definitely triplets in the movie. Like they're played as triplets. They all look exactly alike. So like it makes sense that their voices would all be the same.
It's all the same. And she has performed it live a number of times too. You can find videos of it. It's really funny.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that. But these three thirsty townies who like swoon over Gaston, that is just you, Paige, every time you see a dude that has shoulders north of 20 inches wide. Like that is your vibe 100%.
Here's what I'm going to say about that. If you have your choice between shoulders who read and shoulders who don't, and I'll count audiobooks in that, shoulders who take in and learn new information, let's put it that way.
Paige, I like that you assumed my shoulders were at least 20 inches wide.
I know they're not.
I doubt it.
Doubt it.
Thank you for the compliment. Doubt it. But Paige, yes, I agree.
But if you have choices between those, then I ascribe to the motto of like, if they don't got no books, don't fuck them.
If they don't got no books, it don't matter about them looks.
Yes. Yes. I'll take books over shoulders most days, but also if you've got books and shoulders
and knees and toes, it's over.
You deserve it. Treat yourself.
But yeah, I love this first song. It sets up the movie perfectly. It does show you who all the characters are at like a archetype level, you know, like I love it. It's great.
Well, and it ends with her being like, hey, I don't have time to talk to you about your nonsense anymore. I got to go help my father. And they're like, he needs all the help he could get. He crazy. And she's like, no, he's a genius inventor. I work every day with engineers who make things. Like that is a part of the job that I work at. And they have plans and deliverables and research, and they're solving a specific problem.
Yeah, they're good at their job.
They're good at their job. They're looking at something that can be better or more efficient and saying, how do we solve insert problem here, and then iterating on that.
Yeah.
Now, her dad, I don't think that's what her dad's doing. I think for as callous as everyone around her is for her dad being, let's say, different. I think he should be allowed to be different, but I don't think we should be like, he's fine.
Look, Paige, if you're going to ask me to stipulate that her dad, a great, well-natured, possible idiot, yeah, I'll give you that.
Right?
I mean, but he is trying to invent like a steampunk wood chopper, and I'm kind of here for that.
Right. Well, I'm not, because don't you dare take my TikTok boyfriend Thorin Bradley's job away. Let him split the wood. But like also...
Paige, you would be one of the 3 triplets just watching Gaston chop wood all day. Like, that is your job.
Here's the thing, though. Gaston would never chop wood because at his core, Gaston only has vanity muscles.
I mean, that's factual, though. Those legs look like they've been skipping some leg days. You know what I'm saying?
He'd be skipping them leg days.
Yeah.
Yes.
He walks around like a chicken this whole movie and wonders why he slips at the end.
Anyway, when looking at Maurice, I kind of viewed him like Balloon Boy's dad a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Where he's just like, I built a thing. And you're like, oh God, what? Because we find out later that it can chop wood. We're not 100% that that's what it's doing in this scene, because it kind of just looks like a Rube Goldberg machine where chopping wood happens in the midst of it.
I mean, yes. It's because it's steam powered. This is like pre-electricity. So like it had to be steam powered. It's very steampunk. And I was kind of here for it. Yeah.
I will also say the first time I saw Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, it featured Tom Bosley of Happy Days as Maurice.
Love it.
Big fan.
Yeah.
But I think these scenes get to the core of why this movie was for Paige, where it's like, Papa, do you think I'm odd? And it's like, no, of course not. But think about who you're asking. And she's like,
consider the source, darling.
Consider the source. I don't really fit in here. I feel like I have no one to talk. I don't have anyone to talk to. What about that Gaston fella? He's handsome. I don't know. But this is just her being like, I think I am meant to be somewhere else doing other things, which is a feeling I very much identified with, especially as like a tween/teenager. Of like, I don't think I'm just supposed to marry a guy I met in high school and have babies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you feel like that's your vibe, great.
Yeah, there are people who feel called to that and do it. Whatever you want for your life, seek it out.
Vaya con Dios.
Yeah.
I did not feel that for my life. And I feel like teenage Paige would look at my life now and be like, fucking rad. So like, mission accomplished, right?
Yeah.
But like, at the time, she was watching this a lot and being like, I want much more than this provincial life. Just like alone in my room. Anyway, that's why I like this one, I think.
Oh, yeah?
But also books.
Yeah, Paige.
And the shoulders.
Belle is you. Like, you and Belle are the same I see no dissimilars.
Right.
Like, yeah, I get why this is your favorite.
This is mine.
There's a reason I love Aladdin. Like, it's a problem.
Is it because you like vests so much, or because he's poor?
It's literally because he grew up very poor, and through working very hard and
he has your haircut.
Paige, there's a lot of things that, yes, I understand. I think that like, I don't know that Natalie knew before tonight and before the Disney cruise how much I like love Disney movies and still do. Because it like doesn't come up often. Like if you start dating as like an adult,
right?
Like you don't like, hey, so what Disney movies do you like? That seems like an awkward thing to ask on a first date. If the person you were on the date with is appropriately aged.
You mean that you're not on a date being like, so Bug's life is to neo-capitalism? What?
Right, yeah. Although I do sort of plant some seeds early on to, how do you feel about the class war that we're a part of? Yes, because I got to know, like, are you conscious of it or are you a stone cold dummy?
Okay, what are your favorite ones though? Because like,
Aladdin.
So Aladdin, I get it.
Yeah.
But what are the ones that people would not think about that you're like, I love that one?
I mean, Aladdin is the one that I love. And then
I do love Aladdin.
If we're talking just animated movies,
yeah,
definitely Aladdin. Definitely Emperor's New Groove, too.
I do like Emperor's New Groove.
I love Emperor's New Groove. Oh, man. I think that might be the two that I just straight up love that are, like, Disney movies.
I love Yzma.
Same.
In Emperor's New Groove.
Wrong level! Yeah, she's great.
Eartha Kitt, forever. I love this one, obvious.
Yeah.
I also love Little Mermaid, for sure.
Yeah, Little Mermaid slaps, this slaps. I mean, a lot of the movies that you mentioned that are from this time are amazing.
I'm mixed on the live action ones, but I think the live action Little Mermaid was good. I was not as impressed with live action Beauty and the Beast.
Did you watch the live action Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
I saw it too, and it was fine.
It was fine.
I kind of left the theater like I already had a perfect version.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't hate this. I don't know that I would revisit it because I prefer the one I grew up with. And that might just be like the lens of nostalgia, and I'm comfortable with that.
Maybe.
But I really prefer this to that, even though I think everyone kind of does a fine job in it. Like, I think Josh Gad nails it as LeFou.
Oh, 100%. Yes, 100. Yeah.
But like we already have a Josh Gad, 90s Josh Gad doing it in this
guy.
movie, you know? Like, anyway.
I kind of liked live action Aladdin more than I thought I would. I went in with very low expectations.
Sure.
But I kind of like Will Smith as the genie. And then live action Little Mermaid, I felt like they changed the music enough, but it really suited her voice. And some of those versions are beautiful.
Awesome.
Like I feel the same way about West Side Story, where I think some of the new West Side Story, like particularly some of the changes they made around Rita Moreno and stuff, I really like. And so it's like, there's room for both. But for this one, the live action, I was not jazzed.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got off on this tangent. Oh, but which Disney movie? This one, Little Mermaid. I do love Hunchback. I think the music in Hunchback is beautiful.
It is great.
And Mulan. I love Mulan.
I'll Make a Man Out of You is also a bop. Like, there's a lot of great songs in that movie.
Princess and the Frog, underrated. It was a little later where I was like an
Princess
adult
and the
when
Frog.
I
I was
saw
too.
it, but I really liked Princess and the Frog. That music is great.
I know. It's so good. And love that one too.
I don't care that they changed Splash Mountain. I'm glad that it's going to be Princess and the Frog instead.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great.
There was a Princess and the Frog section on the cruise ship, The Wish, that we were on. I loved it. Yeah, it's great.
Love it. Beignets. Anyway, so her dad takes off for the fair, some sort of inventor's fair. And the scenery of this is beautiful as they're like the kind of matte paintings of the forest. It's gorgeous.
It does get progressively scarier as night continues to fall. And, you know, like he argues with the horse as to which direction to go. And the horse, they've clearly gone and failed at this like science competition many times.
Sure.
Because the horse knows the way.
Right. And knows the way back.
Exactly.
Yes. But they go the wrong way. Dark woods, bats, a cliff. They back up. He gets thrown from the horse and then the horse just goes home.
I did love that. The horse is like, listen, I'm a part of the equestrian union and we can't work past this time of night. I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you no sooner than 6:30, but I'll see you in the morning.
The background music is already going for me to...
Yeah.
I gotta go home.
I can hoof in this rhythm.
Yeah.
I do love that, like, when Maurice gets lost in the woods, he, like, sees a pack of, like, wolves. It's, like, snarling at him, and he still refuses to ask them for directions. Like, that's peak men will literally do anything but ask for help behavior. And I love that for Maurice. He's clearly not a pack man. You know what I'm saying?
No. Lone wolf, as it were.
Exactly.
But he finds a castle. He goes into the gates. He walks in, and immediately Cogsworth and Lumiere notice him. Cogsworth doesn't want to help. He wants to just stay as a quiet clock.
He's a nice guy, but doesn't want to make any waves. He, like, doesn't want to make a problem, right?
Yeah.
But Lumiere's like, hey, it's someone to fuck with. Yeah.
Yes. And they invite him in. They're like, hey, we're all talking objects. And he's immediately like, what sort of inventions are these?
Yeah, because he's an inventor idiot. So he's assuming that they are invented, you know, animatronic things.
Right.
But they're not. And Cogsworth gets really upset when he opens him up and plays with his dangler. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and when he turns the key in the back and he's like, ah, as he's like turning his face.
They call that torsion, Paige. Like, that is a medical issue he just gave him.
We did a Beauty and the Beast sketch in high school, and we cast one guy as a cheese grater and one guy who was much smaller as cheese. And we would lift the cheese and rub him up against the other guy, and he would just scream as if he was being grated. And
That is amazing. Honestly, that would have been great for this competition I did. And it was literally make comedic sketches that would take place in the Beauty and the Beast universe. It was called Be Our Sketch. It was great.
That's such a great name.
I made all of that up for that joke. That doesn't
Damn
exist.
it.
But I love the cheese grater and the cheese yelling. That is dark, and I'm here for it.
That was for Spirit Week, I think sophomore year, junior year. And thank you, Kevin, for letting us lift you up and grate you against one of your friends and for screaming because we thought that was hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's great. It's honestly wonderful.
It is the reason the food does not become sentient.
Right. But they never specify that in this movie.
They didn't.
Hence, oh my God, I'm being graded alive. Yes, so good.
That is dark. I love it. That's so funny.
Hey, I wrote it. What do you expect?
I know,
there were signs early on
Yeah.
of the darkness within. Anyway, the beast sees and is like, who the fuck is in my chair? What is going on? But this is also where we meet Mrs. Potts and Chip, who, remember, was birthed as a cup.
Must have been. Also,
Must have been.
Who's Chip's father? Who is Miss Potts sleeping? Oh, man, Paige.
Do you think Miss Potts was getting the French press?
Get out of here. You get.
I think she could twerkulate if she wants to.
Oh, yeah. She can drop it like it's hot. Paige, I think.
What's tea if not cozy?
And you know she's always spilling that tea, but Paige.
Yes.
Who do you think Chip's father is, ideally? Who is knocking boots with Miss Potts?
I think he's going to grow up to find out that Lumiere's not only his uncle, but something closer.
I don't know, man. She only had wax on her face. I'm just clearly joking.
On her spout, you mean?
Yeah. For me, it would be Snoop Dogg, honestly. For Mrs. Potts?
I guess I was short-sighted in thinking only about people in the castle.
He gets along really well with old white ladies.
He does.
So, like, I think they might hit it off.
Let me tell you something. I don't know Snoop Dogg personally.
What?
I know.
You've lied to me? I didn't assume you knew you didn't know Snoop Dogg personally.
I know. But I'm just thinking if I walked up to Snoop Dogg and was like, hey man, you ever get high while watching Murder, She Wrote? I bet that's his favorite fucking thing to do.
Or he'd be like, I don't know, man. Angela Lansbury on Murder, She Wrote, she could get a push or two. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she is a little old, long in the tooth for years or whatever. But, you know, it's Angela Lansbury. That's the nurse from Pirates of Penzance. Come on.
I can absolutely. It's also, I don't think you've ever watched Harvey Girls, but she is like a sexy sex worker in Harvey Girls and has her own song called Oh You Kid, and it's incredible. And my sister and I used to sing it to each other all the time.
Amazing.
But I feel like sitting on a couch with Snoop Dogg just getting blazed and watching Murder, She Wrote, that sounds like a perfect day.
I would also do that and watch Beauty and the Beast. Like, that sounds like the best commentary is about to happen.
I just feel like that'd be a super, super fun day.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, so Maurice is perhaps dead. We know he drags him off to throw him in jail because we've seen this a million times before.
Yes, he's fine.
Meanwhile, the next morning, this has only been a day.
Yes. But yeah, but the next morning, the horse comes running back up because, you know, he was on a break or whatever. And now Belle is like, wait, where's Dad? And he's like, he doesn't say this, but like they have an understanding, her as the owner of this horse. The horse clearly conveys, I left him, but I know where he is. Hop on and I'll take you right to him.
That hasn't happened yet because before that happens, Gaston just rolls up.
That's right.
And is like, you're going to marry me, right? Everyone's here waiting for you to marry me.
He hired a band. The confidence of this man to be like, here's a lady who I know can barely stand me, but I look like this. So I'm just going to go ask her to marry me, and I'm sure she'll say yes so much that I'm going to spend actual money on hiring a band.
Right. Well, and this is the other thing that like really drives me crazy about this, because like she makes it clear she does not want him. I do not understand people who go above and beyond to try and win over someone who does not want them.
Me either. That's a big part of it for me. Like, if you don't want me, I don't want to be not wanted. So I'm good. Yeah.
I want you to want me so bad it drives you crazy. Like, that's what I want. I don't want to try and convince somebody. I ain't here to pitch it to you. If you don't see why this is worth having, then you can shop at a different store, friend.
Cheap Trick wrote a whole song about this, guys. Like, check it out. It slaps.
Yeah. But Gaston, no. He's like, how dare that bitch have opinions? And
I mean, literally says that or a version of that multiple times in this movie.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
But this is when we get the reprise with the cool dandelion shots of like,
yeah.
I want much more than that. And then the horse comes and she's like, take me, horse.
Not like that. Hang on. Not like that. Let's be clear. take me to my father, horse.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Take me to my father. Take me, horse, roughly to the castle.
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine if he's bouncing around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But like, not that way.
Right. They get to the castle. She comes in and is like wandering around the whole place. Nobody says anything until eventually she makes it to the jail cell where her dad is.
Worst security for any home I've ever seen. This stranger walks into the house, makes it all the way down to the dungeon before somebody stops her.
Yes. And then they're all like, there's a girl in the castle. And it's also like, Chip, how do you know what a girl is? You were birthed as a cup.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's making me laugh so hard that he was birthed fully as a cup. But
maybe that's what happened. Like they weren't expecting it to like happen. And he just like fell out on the floor and hit his head. And that's how he got the chip and the brain damage or whatever they're trying to convey in this movie.
She didn't realize it was tea time and she was fully dilated. It's just gross. Anyway, the beast comes out and is like, what the fuck? And she's like, I will take his place. Just please let my father go.
Oh, Paige. They like have a little conversation, but he like he's either in the shadows or literally have his back. He's like just brooding.
Right.
His back is to her most of the time. He won't even like look at her when they're talking. It's nuts. Until she says, there must be something I could do.
Right.
And that's when he turns around thinking like, wait, is this playing out like that letter to French Penthouse that I wrote? Because this is like the same. This is eerily similar. Where is the 1700s version of Ashton Kutcher for playing this prank on me?
I have this big old pizza and it's full of sausage. Step Beast, won't you help me eat it? Yeah.
You don't want to see Step Beast angry, Paige. Anyway, I thought that was very funny because she says that and he like turns around like, hang on, keep talking.
I'll take his place. You could tie me up if you want.
This is the first Disney Dom. That's all we're saying.
And if anyone looks at her, he'll shoot their hands.
He does have a Massimo quality to him in beast mode.
He'll shoot at their hands. When you think about it, and this is a revelation I'm having in the moment that is troubling me greatly, but I'm going to keep talking. He kidnaps Laura so that she'll fall in love with him.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they are eerily similar. Yes. Yeah, everyone thinks this movie is based on Rigoletto, but it can't be, Paige. There's not nearly enough piano. So like clearly it's based on the same legend that 365 is.
I am so troubled by my common interests.
Paige, what you should be troubled by is realizing that this movie formulated your brain sexually.
Yeah, clearly it did.
And it's a movie where the sexual romance of your chosen partner is a dog for like 95% of it.
See, all this time I was blaming Terminator, but I needed to also blame Beauty and the Beast.
You did. And I'm not saying it's not also Terminator because Kyle Reese could get it. I understand that one too. Even though there's literal poop in his pants.
He does kind of kidnap her.
Come with me if you want to live, Paige. Although he doesn't say that, but.
He does say that.
Oh my God. It's all there. It's the same. Paige, what is it with you and just really wanting to get kidnapped?
I don't know. And I can barely get my husband to pick me up at the airport. So like, clearly I've done something wrong. It is LAX though. We get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway, he sends her dad back to the village in the creepiest carriage imaginable.
Oh, the roach carriage or the cicada carriage or whatever it is. It makes an insect sound that even as a child, I was like, nope, I'm out. I hate that.
But he goes to like the center of town and nobody sees it because they're all too busy with Gaston.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Anyway, meanwhile, they find Belle a more comfortable room with a talkative armoire.
Yeah. She can't wait to dust off them titties or whatever. Like she opens her chest up and just like moths come out and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like very
her chest of drawers.
Very funny.
Yes. But as they're walking there, the beast is like, you can go wherever you want except for the West Wing because women can't be president. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to make like because Sam Seaboard's in there writing the State of the Union. If you disrupt him, sorry.
No.
But that's like an inside West Wing, the show joke.
It's too inside for me.
Yeah. It's one layer too deep, I think.
She'd open the chest of drawers and then the tiny drawer.
But then we cut to Gaston doing like the alpha male thing where he convinces himself that Belle's terrible because she had chose not to like be with him or whatever.
Right.
But don't worry, LeFou is there to cheer him up the best way for an alpha male, and that is through, I don't know, freestyle music numbers about how sexy they are. Like, that's kind of what this is.
That allows Gaston to make speeches in the middle about how expensive his breakfasts are.
He likes eggs and talks about them more in this song than you do, which is a lot.
I do talk about eggs a lot. I ate eggs this morning.
I think you eat eggs every day. You and Jake both.
Pretty
You
much.
talk about it all the time. Yeah.
We eat eggs almost every day.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where if you ever get the chance to see Beauty and the Beast live, the play, this song is worth the price of admission because they do the whole song as done in the movie and you're like, amazing. And then they all reach onto the walls of the sets and grab metal tankards off the walls.
Nice.
And do basically like Beauty and the Beast stomped for an extra round of the song. And it's fucking incredible.
I love that you use the word round when talking about tankards that are like alcohol, big metal alcohol cups.
Yes. And they're like clanking them together in dance unison. It's chef's kiss.
Love it. The only downside is it doesn't take place in like Denmark, so they can't also be wearing clogs.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some taps in there to fill in some of the sound, but
Love it.
Yes. But they are all singing about how Gaston is the best and all of his trophies on the wall and use antlers and all of my decorating.
My, what a guy, that Gaston. It's honestly perfect. It's great. It is like exactly what an alpha male straight jock wants to like build him back up again.
Yes.
Which to me, obviously I'm sort of joking. They don't really want their friends to break out in song about how sexy they are. What they really want is a lot of like subtle, like, no, you're great. Everybody loves you. Which is like, this is the Disney musical campy played up version of that. And I kind of love it.
Yes. Meanwhile, at the castle, the Beast has asked Belle to come down to dinner and she's just like, no, I don't want to. And he yells at her a bunch and she's like, well, now I extra don't want to.
Right. Why would she want to?
Why would you?
He has not put her through the Beast system yet.
Right. Exactly.
It's about to start though, because the Be Our Guest is what kicks off the B in Beast, which is the, bombard with hospitality.
Yeah. Bellow at doors, egg her on, asshole behavior, stomp away,
Yep.
treat her to dinner. And that's what's about to happen because he leaves and then she creeps out and they're like, oh my God, she's awake. Yes, of course, feed her. And we get Be Our Guest, which is basically like Tale as Old as Time is kind of the main song of the movie, but everyone remembers Be Our Guest. And all of the branding around this movie is Be Our Guest.
Yeah, Baby's dad can sing. Like, he crushes this song. I love it.
Yes.
And I kind of love that Jerry Orbach, at least the Jerry Orbach that I know in my mind when I think of Jerry Orbach, is Law and Order Jerry Orbach, which is like a very different character than Lumiere.
Yes.
Like, Lumiere's the kind of dirtbag that I guarantee you when his girlfriend, the French duster, at the end of this movie becomes human, she definitely runs to the bathroom to see if it still burns when she pees.
Oh.
Like, he's that kind of guy, you know?
Yes,
and
yes.
In Law and Order, he's like the straight-laced, very like detective-y guy. And I love both characters, but it's so cool that he could do both very well.
Oh, yeah. And watching him do the Lumiere voice just makes you love it more.
Yeah, I bet. When you said you could watch the cast do it, I was like, I gotta go see this.
You gotta go see it,
because
yes.
I gotta see it. Yeah.
But as soon as Be Our Guest is over, she's like, great job. I can't believe I'm in an enchanted castle. And I love that Cogsworth is like, who told? It's like,
Bro, your face told. Like, yes.
you're a clock.
Yeah.
You're a clock.
You just led a dance number with silverware, sir.
Yes.
Like, it's clearly enchanted. Cat's out of the bag.
But she talks Cogsworth into giving her a tour along with Lumiere. And while he's giving her a tour, she wanders off into the West Wing and sees the painting of Michael Bolton.
When will Hillary Clinton learn? She's not allowed. She's a woman.
Aw.
That's the tone of this movie, as far as Paige is saying.
But her rose petal emails.
Paige, the great thing about that rose, I saw that rose. I have pictures of it. It was on the cruise ship.
Oh, so they were keeping it in an offshore server.
They had to.
Oh, God.
The witch isn't allowed in the U.S. Because of some issues with some underage princes, apparently.
Oh, yikes.
Actually, let me show you this photo of it, because I got like a really good...
Ooh.
But, it was great. It was really cool.
Anyway, so she almost touches the rose, but then the beast snatches it and is like, what are you doing? Get out. And so she runs.
Yeah.
Runs into the forest, where he then has to save her from the wolves.
This is stage 2 of the beast system. Establish emotional dependency. You can't just imprison someone. You have to save their life from something worse than you, right? But that you kind of indirectly caused, right? And then you get performatively wounded by your buddies you've convinced to do this to your victim, right?
Right.
It's classic trauma bonding jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm not saying the beast is not smart and clever. I'm just saying he's a villain.
Sure. I'm just saying, how she get him up on that horse? She can't lift him.
That's how you know he's faking the injury, Paige. He stands up and climbs on the horse himself, and it just looks like she lifted him. Because she's not doing that work.
I mean, but if you really want to know, check the wolves and see which one of them has shot hands or top feet.
Top feet, yeah.
He's going to shoot right through those wolves' top feet.
He is, yeah. Actually, if the beast had referred to his top paws as his top feet,
This is top feet.
as Michael Bolton, I'd have lost my mind.
I keep forgetting these aren't feet anymore. Anyway, so he's licking his wounds. She's cleaning them. They get in an argument and she's like, well, maybe you should control your temper. And Belle, these are red flags.
Yes, they are. Also, when he released his song, Why I Got Feet on My Top Half, These Upper Hand Feet.
While also feet below.
Yeah.
Walking all around, I got too many feet.
I know like 2 Michael Bolton songs, and that is all of them. So like we're done with parodies.
Anyway, meanwhile, back in town, because as they were singing the Gaston song, Maurice breaks in and is like, hey, my daughter's been taken by a beast. We got to go help her. And they're like, crazy old Maurice. He's always good for a laugh. And so he's like, I'm going to go get her on my own. Packs up and leaves. Thank goodness, because Gaston was like, what if we imprisoned her father in an asylum? She'd do anything to keep him out of prison. And I was like, isn't that what the beast also did? Now
Yes.
that we're thinking about it, this is a little questionable.
I'm actually glad you brought this up because I think both of her romantic options in this movie are the same.
Not the same.
Not exactly the same because one's rich, but they're both terrible. Like,
Well, one's rich and can read.
there's a reason he's rich, Paige. But like this movie proves that if you're born into privilege, be it financial or I guess genetic in Gaston's
Yes, pretty privilege.
case, right? Because he's positioned as like the same class as her at least.
Right.
But if you are born into any kind of privilege, chances are you're going to be kind of a shitbag human to the people around you unless the world forces you through circumstance like to learn like some humility.
Unless you actively choose to try and learn some. But usually...
Yeah, I think what I'm saying is like people's natural proclivity towards doing what is the easiest for them all the time.
Right.
I think excludes some people born into an extreme amount of privilege from ever growing or developing, right?
Right.
And so I think this movie shows that like, hey, you could be like a low-class asshole douchebag, or you could be a high-class asshole douchebag, or you could just be like a good person and like interested in self-growth. Like she needs to be with nobody at the end of this movie.
Honestly, she needs to go and see the world and take a gap year and open a bookstore with a friend.
There's a song in this that says, I need something much more than this provincial life.
Right.
Like, bish, get to Paris. Get out of the provinces. Like, let's get into town.
She has a fantastic song in the stage play that was scrapped from the movie, but it happens when she has just switched places with her dad, and the song is Home, where she's like, what is my home? I didn't belong where I was.
Yeah.
But this can't be it.
I would get that.
What is it about me that I'm looking for? And it's a fantastic song that has a reprise later, unfortunately, where she's like, you're my home. And I'm like, no.
God, listen, the beast system is not only scientific, it is proven in case studies such as this one.
Great.
I've done the research. Like I could cite my sources.
Oh God, this is trending in a troubling direction.
Paige, this was originally developed by researchers Trousdale, Wolverington, and Wise in 1981. The beast system, it's like a 5-step romantic conditioning framework designed to, facilitate emotional dependency and identity erosion. All the things. This is Stockholm Syndrome, guys. I took some notes on that too.
Yes.
Typically encountered within like a confined environment, right? So the beast framework plays into that.
Right.
It was tested on a high-profile French study involving
Sure.
a provincial book bookworm, maybe?
Perhaps.
And a horny, horned noble recluse?
But also they tested on mice where they showed them libraries made of cheese.
And those brains lit up.
Boom.
Yeah. It was first published in the Journal for Narrative Control and Romantic Coercion. And, Volume 1, Issue 1, although it has been reprinted since then. The beast system remains the foundational text in the field of fairy tale trauma bonding, or FTTB. How'd I do?
Great.
You can tell I did a lot of research on like where Stockholm Syndrome came from, because most of that was like cribbed from actual Stockholm Syndrome. But yeah, I just mad-libbed Beauty and the Beast into it.
If we're thinking about actual Stockholm Syndrome, there have been a ton of studies since that it is way more nuanced than like the original study, but like...
I agree that it's not exactly right. I do think it was the first to observe the behavior, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah.
Which is interesting, but not that's why it's called the foundational. Like it started the research into this, and more has been done, right? So it's not exactly where it's not exactly correct. It just started the study of it.
Right. Anyway, yeah, because I people often apply it to things like Patty Hearst, and I think that's a whole different vibe where she was just trying to fucking survive.
Yeah, that is a lady who was just doing and saying whatever she had to not get killed that day.
Yes.
That's a different vibe. Although she is a prisoner in this movie.
Yes.
So like the stakes are real for her.
Similar.
Yes.
But the next day, after she's like cleaned his wounds, they're playing in the snow, and he's like, I've never felt this way about somebody. I want to give her something. I'm like, bitch, it's been like 12 hours, but fine.
Yeah, this is that adjust the behavior to create hope situation, right?
Right.
Right after you had your big blow up,
Right.
you like give her a bunch of gifts. You show her that, hey, maybe I'll figure out this spoon thing after all. You know, like I've been struggling, but like I'll commit to figuring out how to use the spoon.
If you insist on spoons.
Yeah, but you have to make the airplane noises. I can't make them. I'm eating.
Yes. But this is where he gives her the library, and we get the song / montage of there may be something there that wasn't there before.
Yes.
Which again, I fully thought took place over months, but is the same day, because we know it takes less than a day to get there, and Maurice gets stuck in the snow.
Yeah.
Because that night they do their he gets all dolled up. They do their dinner and their dance to Tale as Old as Time, which is beautiful. The animation in that is gorgeous, like spinning through the room.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
Then they go out onto the balcony, and this is the mirror thing of like, I want to see my father. He shows her and is like, go and take this mirror with you. But that means all one day.
Yes. Yeah. This is the beginning of that take it with you step, right?
Yes.
But I gotta say this, and I gotta go a little bit back.
Yes.
I love Angela Lansbury's solo in this. Like, she is such an iconic, like nostalgic voice for me.
Yes.
That I love this song, even though I don't think it's the most catchy or whatever, but just hearing this song makes me feel so comforted just because I kind of like love her voice, you know?
Yeah. It really distracts from thinking about her cranging a cup out. Do you think it got chipped because of the forceps? Oh no.
I think I was going to make this joke earlier, but have you seen those things you can use to like squeeze out your tea bag into your tea?
Yes.
That is what they use to pull chip out of the top of her.
Oof.
100%.
So you do think it's the top, not the spout?
It's gotta be. There's no hole in the bottom, which makes me not want to ask the next question I have to ask. And is that, did Cogsworth bang the top hole? He just opens the hatch and drops his dangler in it?
just drops down and then it like ding dongs. No.
Oh, give me that ding dong, Cogs.
What if Mrs. Potts is a marsupial and she births a tiny one out of the spot and then it has to climb and make its way into the top hole?
Paige, how dare you be the only logical person on this podcast? That's definitely what it is.
It has to be. It has to be, right?
I love the reading that when Mrs. Potts turns back into what she was, she becomes a kangaroo, and Chip still a boy, still a 5-year-old boy. No explanation.
Yeah.
His mother now just hopping away.
He's a kid.
God, if I could stand up and clap right now, I would. Just because that is such a good joke. And it's so smart. I hate you so much that you could do that like that. And I know the listeners hate when I like fangirl out over your jokes or whatever, but like I really do like love when people, I don't know. I like celebrating my friends, and I think that was a great fucking joke. If you didn't know what a kid was, though, in the kangaroo parlance,
right,
you might not have got it, but I loved it.
Anyway,
Fuck.
He does let her go, to get her dad, but takes the mirror because, like, the love we've shared over the last 2 days in that library, you take it with you.
Man, I do think he was like, when you think of me, ask the mirror to see me and it'll show you that. And I do think he was planning on just like living in that library looking sad for the next few days. Like just hoping she's checking in with him, you know? Because she's like, well, he's not terrible looking and that's a big ass library.
Yeah, right. Just opening, like, it's a first edition.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, she finds her dad in the snow and brings him home. And she's like, the beast let me go. He's different now. And I'm like, it is max 3 days.
Right. But when you're 16 or however old she is, 16, 18, whatever, I don't know. A lot of the Disney movies, the girls are too young. Just a heads up on that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought like, okay, well, if you're 16 or 18 or however old she is, like that 2 days seems longer than when you're like an appropriate age to actually make these decisions.
Right.
But it's not long enough. Like any asshole can keep it together for 2 days as they are applying the beast system. It is also the dentist system. Like,
yes, but this is where who should roll up but the people from the asylum and the entire town with pitchforks and torches, like immediately.
Why? I get why the townsfolk would show up. It is like, you know, medieval France. There's not TV and radio. Like, you can't do anything in town.
I get it for the beast.
Well, I get for the beast too, yeah.
I don't get it for them just taking Maurice to a facility.
I understood why they were there. Gaston definitely told them this was going to happen because he's been bragging about it all freaking day. And there's nothing else going on. So this would be like the only, quote, entertainment in town. I think that's why so many people went to go see like hangings and beheadings and stuff. Like, what else is going on?
Right.
You know, and that's where all my friends will be. And I kind of want to see my friends or whatever. So like, I wouldn't go to one now, but it's because I watched Netflix.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and this is where she's like, he's not crazy. I can prove it. She's got the mirror and they're like, oh, there's a monster. Now it's a parade.
Oh, this right here is also how you know Gaston was in on it.
Yes.
Because she whips out a magical mirror that shows him an alternate reality, at least as far as he knows.
Right.
And he's not like, you're a witch. We have to kill you.
Right.
He had to know that mirror and what it could do existed. That's all I'm saying.
But how could he have?
He's in on it. The Beast planned all of this as a part of the beast system. At the end of the song, when Gaston, I'm so mad right now, when Gaston goes to the castle, right before he goes in, his only command to his mob.
The beast is mine. Yes.
You got to give the whole thing so you get the whole context. When he gets there to the castle, he says, take any booty you find.
Yes.
But the beast is mine. If he was into Belle, that's the only booty he'd want.
That's true.
And if he's saying you can have any booty you want, and what he wants is the beast, he's trying to get that beast booty.
I don't blame him. I seen them shoulders. Man, those shoulders together, that pair of shoulders, I'd watch it.
Oh my God.
I'd watch it. But they march on the castle after locking Belle and her dad in the basement.
Yeah.
But Chip, born as a cup, is outside and uses the invention to basically chop through those basement doors.
Because when Belle goes back to her house, Chip is a stowaway in her bag.
Right.
Which is revealed right before they come and take him, quote, to the insane asylum or whatever.
Right. Now, from the castle, they're looking outside and they can see the mob and they're like, what are we going to do? And the beast is like, none of it matters because I loved her, but like she left. So just let them kill me. And I'm like, all right, Pete Wentz, write a song about it.
Yes, Paige. First off, Pete Wentz writes some great songs about it. So like, let the man cook and don't make fun of him. But
I followed Fall Out Boy on tour for a time. Trust, I get it.
Going downtown, baby. It was an amazing song. And they've had a bunch of great songs after that. But I think this also lends to my theory that the beast knows he's in no real danger because he's the one planning a double cross.
I mean, if that's what happened, then yes.
I think he has to kill his loose end Gaston.
Except that he doesn't, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
And it's my favorite villain death in any Disney movie. Yeah.
Yes, because the good person doesn't actually kill anybody. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Exactly.
Anyway, so they march on the castle. And once they get there, everyone inside, all of the different cups and saucers and cups that were born as cups and candelabras, just stay as if they're items, and then attack.
I love this so much.
It's great.
Like watching them as like personified furniture, more or less.
Yes.
Or accoutrements. You know, like just going nuts and fighting a bunch of people who are like freaking the fuck out because, I don't know, a house came to life and is kicking their ass. Like, I'd lose my mind.
Yes. And meanwhile, Gaston ignores all of it, walks up into the upper parts of the castle and is like, hey, beast, you too chicken to fight back? And the beast is just like, downtown and early around. Sugar, we're going down swinging.
Paige, one question really quick. The music video for that song.
Yes, antlers.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. The guy's got antlers in that song. I'm not saying Pete Wentz modeled that song after how the Beast felt when Belle left, but there's some evidence there.
Do you remember what happens at the end of that music video?
No.
He's got antlers, and then it turns out that she has deer feet.
They're perfect for each other, Paige.
They're perfect for each other.
I love it.
Yeah, wishing to be the friction in your jeans.
Man, that triplet. Oh, so great. Got to make that line work, and they did in the best way possible.
Yeah, oof. But Belle rides for the castle. Gaston chases the beast out onto the balcony and then up onto the roof, and he's about to kill the beast.
He stabs him. He climbs up behind him and does stab him at some point.
Well, not yet.
Yeah. But he's trying to kill him. Like, he definitely is.
He's trying to kill him, and the beast is not fighting back, but then the beast sees Belle, and he's like, all right, and fights back.
Yeah.
And he gets to a point where he's holding Gaston by the throat out over the edge of the castle, where if he drops him, he dies.
Oh, could have killed him in that moment.
And Belle doesn't call for him not to. Belle is just like, yeah, do it. Like, he sucks or whatever.
I mean, she doesn't like Gaston. This is not a romantic rival at all. Like,
no.
He is the creepy dude that is trying to, like, manipulate Belle into marrying him.
Right.
Nobody sees him as a good person, except for maybe the townspeople who just don't know him. But, like, Belle is like, drop him!
Drop him! But the beast, he has a moment of just like, I'm not a killer. And he brings him back and sets him down. And then the beast climbs up to Belle, and he literally gets like her face in his hands of like, you came back. And then Gaston stabs him from behind. And as the beast kind of like, and like wrenches back, Gaston loses his footing and falls to his death.
Yeah.
The beast granted him mercy.
Oh, yeah.
He could have just walked back inside and left, and he would have lived and been fine. But he could not lose. And he causes his own death.
Yeah.
And nobody cries about it. Belle immediately is like, get back onto the balcony. Fuck that guy. Like,
I love it.
Whatever.
Because him slipping to his own death is like perfect.
Yes.
Because he's like, he's not thrown from the tower or whatever.
No.
He literally, and like even the beast, when he like recoils from being stabbed, doesn't recoil in a way that knocks him.
No.
Or whatever. Like, nobody touches him. The dude just like is killed by his own hubris.
Right.
And that is very funny to me. It like feels right to me coming from like the same culture that like came up with the phrase of hoisted on his own petard.
Right.
Like that just feels right to me. Like they slipped to their own death. Well done.
Yeah, he slips. She helps the beast onto the balcony where he's dying. And this is the like, at least I got to see you one last time. And she's like, no, I love you. And then we get the magical hailstorm. And then he raises up. He's got finger blasts of sunlight as he turns into Michael Bolton.
Yes.
But with the shoulders.
I love when she sees him for the first time because she kind of squints and she like really has to look at him like she's trying to find like the most handsomest angle. Like she's trying to like build a Hinge profile for her friend.
Right.
You know, like, but hey, like he is rich, so it didn't take her very long. She's like, oh, there you are. What was your name? Beast? What's your real name? I don't even know your real name and I'm marrying you? What are we doing?
I don't know. But they do it. We cut to the castle changes back.
Yeah.
Everyone is their human form, learning how to be human from never having been human and just having been objects.
Chip is like, what are these, Mommy? He's flapping his arms around. Yeah.
What are arms? And they do their final dance, tale as old as time. And that's the movie.
So, Paige, having seen the movie, having talked about the movie, what did you think about the 1991 Disney classic, Beauty and the Beast?
I mean, it's still my favorite.
It's so good. I hate how much I love it. It's so nostalgic. It's so fun to sit through and like just relive the songs and hear the songs again. I'm super into it.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it so much. And I know we gave a ton of fun facts as we went, but there are so many, so we'll cover some more in fun facts.
Yeah, do you want to hit us with your fun facts?
Born
The
as a
Beast
cup, fun facts. All the songs were the last complete works for a movie by Academy Award winner Howard Ashman, who died, as we mentioned, 8 months prior to the release of the movie. It is dedicated to him at the end of the final credits. The dedication reads, quote, "To our friend Howard, who gave a mermaid her voice and a beast his soul, we will be forever grateful."
Holy shit, man. Disney knows how to
Heart-wrenching.
they know how to hit you in the feels, man. Like that is such a good for the work he did and all. That's amazing.
Yes. Angela Lansbury originally thought that another character would be better suited to sing Beauty and the Beast, but the directors Gary Truesdale and Kirk Wise asked her to make at least one recording to have for a backup, and that's the recording that ended up in the movie.
Does it say who she thought would be better suited to sing that song?
It does not, because they didn't use it. I would imagine Lumiere.
I could see that, yeah. But man, and maybe it's just, again, nostalgia, but that song is so iconic for me.
Yes.
It's not my favorite one of the whole movie, but I love her version of it.
Yes.
And I love Angela Lansbury. Like, come on, she's amazing. But whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Glenn Keane, who was the supervising animator on the Beast, created his own hybrid beast by combining the mane of a lion, the beard and head structure of a buffalo, and the tusks and nose bridge of a wild boar, and the brow of a gorilla, the legs and tail of a wolf, and the big and bulky body of a bear. The beast also has blue eyes. This is the one physical feature that does not change when he is a beast or human.
Well, and that's sort of what she alludes to when she like leans in and sees his eyes. I made the joke about she's looking past him at the castle, but that's what she actually sees as his eyes.
In the play, he has a brief solo that's a reprise of his song, and it says, "Belle, look into my eyes. Don't you see?" basically.
Yeah, okay. That's great.
Right. The majority of the sculptures seen on the castle are earlier draft versions of the Beast.
Oh, that is cool. Because they are sort of, I don't know, like gargoyle-esque maybe is the right way to say it.
Well, and there's the one where he's crouched near them and Gaston walks past, and then the Beast jumps out because it looked enough like him that he didn't see.
Yeah.
So Rupert Everett originally auditioned for the role of Gaston,
Really?
But was told by the directors that he didn't sound arrogant enough. As a nod to this, he later voiced Prince Charming in Shrek 2.
Nice. Okay.
Now, Shrek and Shrek 2 are animated movies I do think we should do.
Okay. I'm here for that.
Those two mainly, not the later ones, but specifically those two. And part of the reason I love the Shrek movies is how much fun they poke at Disney. They do a great job of it.
Nice.
Many additional scenes were storyboarded but never animated. Those included a scene where Gaston visits the asylum, a scene where the Beast is seen dragging the carcass of an animal he killed, but both were considered too gruesome for the movie and the ideas were dropped. However, an animal skeleton can be seen, though just barely since it's heavily in the shadows, in the corner of the west wing, leaving a subtle implication of just how far the transformation has affected him.
Yeah. I mean, he would, that's kind of accurate to the period. You would have to hunt wild game for meat, I don't hate that. That's great. Yeah. It is a kid's movie, though, so I understand why they cut it.
Yes. When Paige O'Hara was auditioning, a bit of her hair flew into her face and she tucked it back. The animators liked the look so much, they put that in the movie. So early in, I believe it's in the original singing of Belle, Belle tucks a lock of hair back into her ponytail, and it's because Paige O'Hara did it in the audition.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
The last phrase of Cogsworth's line, "Flowers, chocolates, promises you don't intend to keep," was ad-libbed by David Ogden Stiers.
I mean, it is a good line. That stands out in this movie for me. I remembered that coming into it, if that makes sense.
Yes. I mentioned this is one of the first animated features to be nominated for an Oscar. Not the first, others have been nominated, but for Best Picture, this is one of the first. This is the first animated feature to win a Golden Globe for Best Picture.
Nice.
So that's actually pretty remarkable as well.
Yeah.
In Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve.
Nailed it. Nailed it, Paige.
Thanks. The person who originally wrote The Story of Beauty and the Beast, the French version, the prince was not turned into a beast for being selfish and unloving, but because he refused to marry his evil fairy godmother. Likewise, Beauty's challenge in understanding the beast was not his volatile temperament, but his stupidity. In beast form, he could not express himself intelligently, much like the ghost in Stardust.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
So, as we mentioned, the timing of this movie is 84 minutes long. 25 minutes of that are songs, And only 5 minutes of the total film are without musical score at all.
Man, that's honestly more than I thought that'd be, because it does feel constant, which I like. I love
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes. Now, this was not the first attempt for Disney to adapt Beauty and the Beast. They tried in the 30s and again in the 50s, but they couldn't come up with a good script, so the project was shelved. It wasn't until The Little Mermaid became hugely successful that they decided to try a third time with much of the same team that worked on The Little Mermaid.
Man, I'm glad they did, because I love both of those movies. And this team was so iconic. They're so good.
Yes. The first stained glass window scene in the prologue has the Latin phrase "Vincit qui se vincent," which means he conquers who conquers himself,
Ooh,
which I think is very
nice.
interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes. For the song Gaston, Howard Ashman had written more lyrics than were required, so some lyrics had to be cut for the final version in the movie, but they are reinstated for the version performed in the Broadway musical, as well as the remake, the live action film.
Yeah, that scene does go on a little bit longer, and honestly is a little bit more like the barn dance or barn raising scene from Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. There's like some cool, because it's live action, like feats of strength stuff that people actually like had to do. Whereas like in the cartoon, there is obviously some of that feats of strength stuff, but it's not like as impressive because it's a cartoon, you know?
Yep. Howard Ashman is also credited with the idea of turning the enchanted objects into living creatures with unique personalities, because he was involved in both the story portion and the writing portion for the music. So much of Howard Ashman is on this movie.
Yeah.
It is a tragedy that we lost him.
Yeah.
This movie used 1,295 painted backgrounds.
What?
And over 120,000 drawings.
Jesus.
Yes.
That's an amazing level of hand-drawn stuff
Yes.
in a movie. That is awesome.
And I'll end on perhaps the most unpredictable and unlikely fun fact. But as you may know, especially at this time, and I guess happens currently too, when movies are released in other countries, they will often have a dub with local famous actors taking over some of those roles. There were many of those dubs of Beauty and the Beast, including one in Mandarin. And performing the voice acting and singing for the Beast in Mandarin was who? Jackie Chan.
What? Really?
Yes. And those are your fun facts.
Paige, well, thank you for those fun facts. Let's talk a little bit about box office. So what do you think the production budget was for Beauty and the Beast in 1991?
Transparently, I have no idea. I have no idea how much animated things cost. That's not the type of movies I studied. But I'm going to say at the time, it probably had to cost at least $20 million.
Yeah, it was exactly $20 million.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 91. So obviously there's been quite a bit of inflation, but that's only $47.3 million today, which seems very cheap for a movie that's this good.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, so this movie came out, it technically premiered the weekend of November 15th, 1991, but it was only in 2 theaters. So it didn't bring in that much money. It brought in $162,000 that weekend. Again, only in 2 theaters.
Right.
Its per theater average was $81,000. That's an ungodly per theater average.
Yes, yes,
And so
yes.
like in those 2 theaters, packed with just this movie.
Yes. Well, and I bet I could tell you which 2 theaters it was.
I'm sure it was like a release kind of a thing, and it was a special event kind of a thing.
The only reason I know this is because I have seen a Disney release like this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, they mostly premiere at the El Capitan on Hollywood Boulevard because Disney owns that theater.
Yeah.
It's across the street from Grauman's Chinese. And then I would assume one in New York as well. I'm not sure.
I would assume one in New York as well, but I don't know. Yeah.
But I could almost guarantee that it's the El Capitan in Hollywood.
Yeah. But the next weekend, I'm going to actually like give you like its opening week numbers like I normally do. Because at that point it was in 977 theaters, which wasn't every theater in the US though. Because like the number 1 movie that weekend, The Addams Family, was in 2,411 theaters.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it was in way more theaters. Anyway.
It's wild that these came out at the same time, but yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think Beauty and the Beast made in its second weekend? And it was number 3 in the theaters this weekend. What do you think it made that weekend?
I bet it made at least $8 million that weekend.
A little bit better. It was $9.6 million, which is great.
Yes.
The other movies that were number 1, obviously, was Addams Family. Number 2 was Cape Fear. And that was in 1,702 theaters. Again, Beauty and the Beast, which was 3rd, was in 977. The fourth movie, which is a great movie called An American Tail, Fievel Goes West.
Oh, Fievel Goes West.
Yeah, that movie was in 1,680 theaters. Number 5 was Curly Sue, and that was also in roughly 1,600 theaters.
Yes.
So like Beauty and the Beast, that was third, was in about half the number of theaters at least as everyone else in the top 5. Like it did so well, even though it was in so few theaters. But, Paige, this movie, when it initially premiered, was in theaters from, again, November 15th, 91, when it was just in 2 theaters, all the way until June 5th, 92.
Yes.
It was in theaters for 30 weeks.
Yeah.
And in that initial run, it brought in, I'm just going to tell you, $138.8 million domestically. Now, it did go back to theaters in 2002. And it wasn't in like a nationwide release, but it still made some money from there. And then
I did see it in theaters
Yeah,
in 2002 as well.
so yeah, because it ran from January 11th of 2002 until, this is insane, May 30th of 2003.
Yep.
So it was in theaters for over a year in the 2002 to 2003 timeframe. And it left theaters and then was back in theaters in 2012 for a run.
Yeah.
So like eventually this made $206.3 million domestically. And I'll just tell you internationally, it also brought in $232.3 million. So the total worldwide for this is $438.6 million.
I can also tell you why it was back in theaters those later days. So 2002 to 2003 is when the stage play came out.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
So they put it back in theaters as the stage play was going up. Because I saw the stage play probably around 2002 or close
Sure.
to it, right?
Yeah.
And then 2012 is when the special edition DVD came out, because I have the really fancy, super Beauty and the Beast DVD version, and it came out around 2012. And I think I probably also went and saw it in theaters back then, but that is probably the last time I had seen this for a while.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you adjust that $438.6 million to today's numbers, that would put it at just over $1 billion. It's $1,038 million.
That is wild. And yet I know that's probably not even the most an animated movie has ever made. I'm sure there are others that have made more.
I'm sure if you adjust for inflation, absolutely there have been others that made
Yeah.
more, but it's probably Disney. It's probably like a Snow White
Or Shrek.
or one of those. Shrek might be, but I just mean like
Yeah.
because of the inflation part of it,
Yeah.
like Snow White might be it. But I do want to compare it to how Beauty and the Beast, the live action did.
Oh, yeah.
Because it also did spectacularly well in the
Sure.
theaters. However, its budget was $160 million.
Jesus Christ.
Live action, and it's Disney, and they've got the money. So like that doesn't
Yeah,
surprise
yeah.
me too much. But it did bring in $1.2 billion worldwide. So way more expensive, and it did about $160 million more after you adjust for inflation. But still, I mean, Beauty and the Beast is like a bankable IP, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it's made millions and millions and now billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But that's your box office. So, Paige, you want to hit us with that romance scale?
Our romance scale is a scale of 1 to 4 of how romantic we found this movie. And remember, no one's hands got shot. Todd, how romantic do you find this film?
I definitely think it's a 1. This movie is more of a red flag than a like romance to me, and I think it should be for all the people watching it.
I see no flags. 2. No, I'm kidding. I'll put it at 1 as well. And that's your romance scale.
So, Paige, this week you made us watch Beauty and the Beast. What are we going to watch next week as we continue Beauty and the Beast month?
Next week, we are tackling Beautician and the Beast.
Hell yeah.
Something heavily suggested in the group, a movie my sister and I loved as children. I am excited to see how badly it holds up. So it will be Beautician and the Beast with Fran Drescher and Timothy Dalton.
I was going to say, I really cannot wait to see Timothy Dalton's Beast and Fran Drescher's Belle.
Yep.
I didn't realize this bookish brunette was from Long Island or whatever. Anyway, so that's our homework for next week is to watch Beautician and the Beast.
Yes.
I can't wait for Angela Lansbury's solo in that one.
Oh, yeah.
But check back next week for that episode.
Hey, do you have any reviews for us, Todd?
I do. This week, I'm going to read a Spotify comment from our most recent The Mask of Zorro episode.
Yes.
And I'm going to read this one from Tala H. They say, as someone who loves and grew up watching this movie over and over, the sequel's not worth it. So Tala, thank you so much for that Spotify comment. We got a lot of great comments in this episode, so I appreciate it, guys. And if you want to have me read your Spotify comment or a 5-star Apple review, leave us one of those things and I'll do just that. So yeah, if you guys like this show and want to hear our other show where we talk about horror movies, that is The Horror Virgin. That's the only other podcast I am on, but Paige is also on Cult Podcast, which you can find at Cult Podcast. And you can find us on social media. I am at Todd J. Awesome, literally everywhere. Paige is at Paige Wesley on Instagram.
No, it's at Rampage Wesley on Instagram and TikTok, at Paige Wesley on Twitter.
That's right. All right. So that's where you can find Paige. If you want to find the show, we are at Romancing the Pod Show, right?
Yep, Romancing Pod Show on Twitter.
Well, and Instagram, right?
And Instagram, but it's show SHO because character limits. If you start typing Romancing the Pod, it'll come up.
It'll definitely come up on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter because I haven't posted on Twitter in a hot ass minute. So like, who knows? But that is where you can find more of us. So yeah, guys, give us a follow. Support the show any way you can. We'd love it.
Smash that like button.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to be it for us, you guys. I'm Paige.
And I'm your not quite 20 inches shoulder width Todd.
And you lock us in a castle.
To Stockholm pletion. Bye. The B system totally works. Check it out, nerds.